What's going on, people, and welcome back to Spurs Down Under. The lovely duo is here. There was a third, but he's out tonight with his lovely family. But before we get into it, guys, Brad, it's a Saturday night here in Australia. Tottenham playing 2 hours. But first of all, how are you, bro?
Good, brother. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. It's been a nice couple of days here in Oz. 30 plus degrees on a nice spring day.
I know it's hot as shit.
Nah, it's beautiful actually. To be honest, I know that England had a bit of a 40-degree heat wave, but that heat wave to us is a normal summer's day, and that's coming. It's going to be a hot summer this year. We've had a couple of wet summers, but this year's going to be nice and hot.
Hot one.
Let's get into it.
Main thing is, mate, football is back.
Yeah, that is the main thing. And before we get into it, guys, if you are joining us, make sure you are liking and subscribing to the Hotspur Hood and to Total Hotspurs. We will be chucking our channel in the comments below soon. And make sure you hit the bell button for both our YouTube and for the Hotspur Hood, so you can get notifications when we are streaming, when Tommy does videos and when he's streaming too. If you have joined us new, we are supporters from Australia doing a regular show on Tommy's channel at 10 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time each week. Will change come in a couple of weeks with the daylight savings here in Australia, so time will need to be adjusted. But all in all, welcome, guys. And we've got two people in so far. Hopefully we get a bit more. Uncle Merv came for another Spurs Down Under takeover. He knows the drill. And welcome back. And then Dean, the good old Dean here in Oz. Hey, bro, we'll have to try and get you on for a United week.
100%.
On the Spurs Down Under. If you're keen, mate, I know you're a United supporter. So, and before we get into Spurs and international break, I do want to say, guys, if anyone that's watching us that is a rival fan in the Premier League and is an Aussie, let us know. We would love to get some other Aussie fans on the show. Would bring on anybody across the world, but because this is Spurs Down Under, we want to prioritise the Aussie community out here. But Brad, finally international break is over, as you mentioned before. No injuries apart from 2 scares.
Romero, 2 light knocks.
2 light knocks. So Sonny got apparently got a knock in training, and he was wearing I think he was wearing ice coming off.
Yeah, strapped. Yeah, he strapped it.
There was rumors that he could be out for a serious injury. Now I think that's kind of been blown out of proportion to kind of stress out the Tottenham fan base. But I think we'll see today if he has got a knock. And Romero got a horrible tackle against Bolivia, and pretty much wanted to snap his leg by the looks of it. But looks like he's okay. So we have gone through the international break unscathed, luckily. And I didn't really watch much international football, I'll be honest.
No, me neither.
I'm not really interested. Even England, the times are pretty bad for us here in Australia to watch international friendlies. And it's when you go from Ange ball to Southgate ball, I mean, I don't know about you, Brad, but personally, I fall asleep watching Southgate's teams play.
Oh, look, when he still was put Maguire on the field, mate, there's no point watching it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a debate that everyone's having at the moment is how can you play a player in starting for England or even squad that doesn't play for his club, hasn't played for his club regularly for 12 months, and once again scored an own goal. I think he's now in the top 7 English players. Actually, no, top 7 players in history, and there's 3 English players. Carragher, I'm pretty sure it's Carragher, Jagielka, and Maguire have the most. They have 7 own goals for international football. I think at the top is there's a few up there further up, but it's quite ridiculous that England actually entertain this guy, and I think that's why there's such an outrage is that Southgate does stick with this guy, even though he said when he first got appointed that he would stick with the informed guys who are playing for their club.
Yeah, but like Southgate, he probably better off picking Dyer over friggin' Maguire.
I mean,
it just baffles me, bro. It's like Conte playing Diet all last season, even though he was horrible. Like,
yeah.
Looking at it and just but I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is there. I think Southgate hasn't got long in that chair left.
Oh, I just don't think he can justify his appointment any longer in terms of team selection. But he's got two World Cup semi-finals and a Euro final in his tenure. So that'll do him some favors.
It will.
But let's get into Tottenham, guys. Let's stop talking about England. Not everyone.
Let's get to
Tottenham
the lads.
Is an English fan. So like I said, no one injured for the international break. And we come back to Sheffield and we play Sheffield in just under 2 hours. But going back on how we were playing before the international break, Brad, do you think we can keep this momentum? We've got 3 wins and a draw from the first 4 games. International break, we had this kind of run under Nuno a couple of years ago where Nuno won his first 3. One of them was Man City, and then we went to international break, and then we came back and we were woeful. Albeit that we didn't win those games comfortably. It was very crap football.
It was. Scrappy wins.
We're playing very, very well. We're scoring a lot of goals. I think we've got 11 goals and 4 conceded in 4 games.
Yeah.
We do need to it's a better return than last season when we conceded 63 goals at the moment. But next 4 games is for me, it's an indicator of where we may end up. That's just my opinion. But how do you feel that the team's going to go coming back off an international break?
Yeah, look, all the boys that played international football, they're not going to be as fit as the guys that didn't go. In my opinion, like we've got Villiers that stayed back, which he's going to be sharp in that goal because he's had time to get his fitness. He's had the rest time. Sorry, not Villiers, Vicario. My bad. I got them mixed up. This is a game we should win, but what worries me is that thought back process back to Nuno a couple of years ago when we started off strong and we just lost it after international break. Like you said, though, there were scrappy wins. These weren't scrappy wins that we won. We've actually put some goals away. So we should be okay. I'm not going to say we're going to come out and run right because you just don't know how the team's going to play after not being together for a couple of weeks with some of the key players out. So we're just going to see how it is. But I think we've got a very good chance of winning. But we just got to see how the team gels after not being together for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think that's the concern is and for me, I don't understand this international break every 4 or 5.
Stupid.
Like at the start of the season, like the season kicks off, teams get momentum and then it gets stunted. I know they say the best teams can keep that momentum going after the international break, but all it takes is one serious injury for us and our season start derails. That's for me.
If we lost Sonny, bro, we were screwed.
Honestly, Sonny, Romero, Basuma, or Madison. Or Van de Ven.
Yeah.
Any of those, the spine of the team, if one of those I know, with Johnson coming in, I did have a thought of if Son's out, Johnson will come in at number 9.
Johnson can come in,
with how Richarlison's going. Yeah, but Madison, who replaces Madison? Lo Celso? Don't think so. Who replaces Basuma? No one. No one for me. And if Romero's injured, we're chucking Phillips in. We're chucking a kid in. That's how it's going to be. So, I don't understand why we have these international, especially the friendlies. I understand they've got to try and develop sort of team cohesion within the country so that when they hit the qualifiers, they can really hit at it. But it just disrupts so much. Like I'd rather them do it over a summer. Like when there's no Euro and no Olympics, they have 100%. A tournament for friendlies or they have qualifiers in those summer. And they go, but football players need breaks. Okay, but these guys are half the players are playing internationals and normal club games, and then you're cramming all these, especially in the Premier League where Christmas is already bad enough as it is, because you're cramming all those games in, and then you're going to cram even more games in for international, and you're going to play football like what Southgate plays, and then players, you're playing countries that are never going to make it on the world stage, like San Marino, Luxembourg, those kind of teams. And what's stopping these players from going? We're just going to go out there and kick the shit out of these nations because it doesn't matter to us. Like. San Marino aren't going to care if they snap Harry Kane's leg. because
Doesn't matter to us anyway.
they haven't won in how long anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, obviously the
No,
Harry Kane thing's
it's
just an
yeah,
example.
but I get it. They're doing it, but don't do it 4 weeks into the start of the season. Do it like October, November before it starts getting ugly. But guess they go, oh yeah, players get injured, but they can get injured either way. They can get injured at training. So it's like push it. At least do the first 12 weeks of football, then have the 2-week break off there. It's just baffles me that we get 4 games in, like I said, the momentum starts rolling for teams, keep going on a roll, and then if one team that has one key player that gets injured, they can't replace him, we're done. And it goes for teams from the bottom 6 down, from the 6 down. If they get one player injured, that's one of their key players who's international, they get injured, they're not going to come back from that season if he's out for the whole season.
Well, I think I would say City's the only team that can seriously lose one of their main men.
Yeah.
And maybe keep the same momentum. Like, if Arsenal lose Saka, there's no one on that right hand side.
No.
If Liverpool, I wouldn't say Van Dijk, he hasn't been their talisman anymore.
No, he hasn't.
But if Liverpool lose 1 or 2 players from injury, they're gone. United, they're gone. Chelsea can't really talk about now. Us, like I said, there's 4 or 5 players that if we lose, we're done for. Our momentum drops off completely.
100%.
But it's the way the game is now. The boys, they live a very privileged lifestyle. So for us fans, we get annoyed because, especially when you're a Tottenham fan and you're seeing us play so well.
It's just every international break, Romero gets injured.
Always before as well. It seems like he always wants to get injured for international breaks.
Yeah, it's always happens. He doesn't play. Like, it's just, that's why I don't like it. Players get injured and it just screws up the whole rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Big up audio, always here, mate.
On,
appreciate you seeing. I hope you've enjoyed these week and a half off international break. Probably not. I'm sure you're like us. You want to see Tottenham back on the screen, and they will be back in an hour and 45. So, Matt, big ups to you. Welcome back. But I do want to talk about these rumors about Romero and Son. Now I've had a quick check before we started the show. Looks like they were just rumors, but how this is quite often with international breaks where you hear players are injured or you see someone with a limp and they're out. And we've spoken briefly about how serious it would be if we lost Romero or Son. But who realistically, Brad, if Sonny does get dropped, like gets injured, what would you do? What would you do?
You have to throw Johnson in. Richie's got too much mentally going on at the moment. Like, he's come out and said he needs to go see a psychiatrist and stuff. His head's not right. So throwing him in a situation where he's going to be the main man to score goals and put more pressure on him, it's going to break him. So it's going to have to be Johnson if Sonny goes out. Like, Richie needs to get his head first right. His mental health is the main priority for a person, I see. So it's just, it will have to be Johnson. There's no other player you could choose.
Yeah, you could. The point of Richarlison is it's valid, right? He's come out and openly said that he's struggling mentally and he really, really needs a break or see a psychologist to try and get his head right. And that, for me, I think that's what's affecting him. He's putting the pressure of scoring goals, replacing Harry Kane. He hasn't done too well since coming to Tottenham in terms of goal scoring. So all that pressure mounts, and then when you're mentally fighting with yourself and struggling, the fans are starting to get onto you. The people are starting to say, "Sell him, get rid of him, 60 mil down the drain." It is going to affect him, and everyone forgets, right? In football world, he isn't young. He's 25. But in the real world, he's young.
He's younger than me. In the real
world, and unfortunately for men, most men won't fully mature and understand themselves until they're past 25. I was like that. I didn't really grow into the person that I am until I 25, 26. So he's still growing into the man that he wants to be. He's still understanding the world in his eyes. And, I don't know if he can be thrust into that front row. I think Sonny needs to stay in there.
I don't think he can. Honestly, I honestly, the way Sonny played before the Hotspur break, getting a hat trick, and we just looked more fluid with Maddison and Son leaking up. Richie can just be a backup for Kulu,
60 million pound backup. 60 million pound backup.
But it's not working. Flog him off then and get someone in. Like, honestly, it's the hardest part's going to be they want Tony and we're not going to get him because everyone's going to want him.
Yeah.
That's going to be the only reason you sell Richie for Tony. That's it. I
mean, that's I'd just do a swap. There you go. Have Richie, we'll take Tony. Before we keep going on that debate, the strong man of the three has jumped in. Didn't think he was coming on tonight, but the man himself, the GOG, Delane. Welcome, bro.
You're
muted, bro. Unmute yourself.
You're talking to yourself.
Can you boys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, boys. I apologize. But hey, late than never. I'd rather be on late than never. So my apology, boys.
Greatness, people. Lateness is greatness.
Oh, trust me. Late show is a great show.
Yeah.
Nah, but for what you boys were talking about, I think we're on the topic of Richie's, his mental health. Look, from what I jumped in, for you boys talking about, I think, as you boys said, I think his mental health is kind of, important thing, and just for real world and for football world, I think he just needs to work on that a little bit more, so he's got his mind right. He's got his, he's not thinking about other stuff because, look. As we all know, mental health is very, very can be very dangerous in many ways. And 100%. Myself, I'm dealing with a lot of mental health stuff as well, but I'm getting help as well. So I mean, look, anyone who's struggling out there with mental health, seek help because it could really help you in the long run. And
it ain't weak to speak, brother. That's it.
Yeah, man. Like for Richie and like Richie Delhi, for those players to admit they got mental health problems. Look, big ups to them. They deserve all the big ups because, mental health is a really strong thing out there, and it can really hurt.
We as a fan base, though, need to get behind our player as well. Yes, well, myself, I've been giving him shit for how he's been performing as well, but him coming out and saying that, we need to get behind him as a fan base and as a club to go, you know what, right, let's get this man to where he wants to be because he's not going to be Harry Kane. But if Richie can score 20 goals, 15 to 20 goals a season, I'll be happy with the money we paid for him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen at the moment. It's not going to happen straight away.
Well, that's why I think the issue is with him is that he's got that pressure of Harry Kane, the backup to Harry Kane's. And people can say, the price tag does weigh heavy on certain people. I think Everton paid 50 mil for him. But, he was Everton's main man, but I think he had a lot of time to bet in. And, he wasn't the main man all the time. He grew in to be the main man at Everton. But when he came to us, he was pretty much like, Harry Kane's going, Richarlison's here, he's the man. And, it's a lot of pressure. And unfortunately, Tottenham have a lot more of a expectation than Everton do at the moment. And have always been like that since Richarlison went to Everton. So, like I said, like Delane brings up great points. It's we've got to get behind him, like you said as well, bro. We've got to get behind him, back him up. It's hard though. It's hard sometimes when you sit there and go, fuck his shit, get him off. Unfortunately, that's as human beings, that's how we are, right? We in the moment we're quite. Most people are quite aggressive. They're quite unfiltered. And sometimes that can come across really, really bad. But this is why we have these discussions, right, guys? We talk about this stuff. We have a clear mind when we're clear-headed because, it doesn't always have to be in a negative tone. But I'll get into some comments. So Audio has said, international break is always long. Can't wait 100%. For a bit of Ange ball. I mean, I'm assuming you're English too, Audio. I cannot stand watching England play at the moment. And when Maguire,
it's like how we used to play.
Oh, it's like watching Conte ball, but then instead of Dyer, you got Maguire.
Yeah,
they're the Bash brothers, those idiots.
They are.
He's also said, I think leave Sonny up top and bring Richie on around 70, 75th minute. Let BJ come off the bench and play left or right wing. I said this. I think that Richarlison should be brought on at the back end of games when teams are tiring, when he can sniff in and around the goal, when if teams are chasing, especially with the way we're playing, if teams are chasing goals against us, Richie can break through those lines, get in behind. He likes to run that offside trap a lot. Tends to never beat it. But, back end of the half, he doesn't need to have as much pace or time or like a head start on defenders. And Brendan Johnson, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him start today.
It could possibly.
I wouldn't be surprised.
His parents have a thirst. It's your cooler.
However, he has been away with Wales, so he may not have had enough time to be bedded in, and Ange might want to bed him in a little bit slower.
But we said about Van der Ven too, though. Nick Van der Ven starting after it was a week.
I think it was like a week and 3 days or something.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. Well, he's coming off the bench, bro. He started, so Ange is not afraid to do it if he needs to.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Either moment, welcome back, brother. See you on live stream, so welcome back to the show. I think that's saying with Richarlison, he might get a 10, 15-minute run off the bench, or Johnson, either one. I think both of them need to come on at the same time, especially if we're winning. I wouldn't even mind seeing him come a bit earlier if we're ahead by 2 or 3 goals.
100%. Still a 60-minute change.
Audio says, big up D. Audio is a big fan of D Lane.
He loves that D.
He loves the D. It's a funny story, guys. So I don't know. It's an Australian term. So when we, us 3 boys played rugby league together, I actually met Delane through playing rugby league when we were younger. Went to high school together. So when you're playing rugby league, people know rugby. You defend, right? It's called your D line, your defensive line. And when someone makes a good tackle, you say, "Oh, good D, good D." And it didn't register when we're playing footy, but then when we started playing FIFA, and me and Delane sometimes play in the back 4 on FIFA on pro clubs, and when someone yells out "good D," it's a whole different meaning when you're playing with boys that don't play rugby league, and it's quite hilarious because
it's weird.
You can take it as good D, as in good work D, good D as in good defense, or good D as in good dick. So you never know, boys. You never know which one we're going to throw out. Eyes come back. Either moments come back with Ange just wants to help him. Wants him to help the team out, create some space, make some runs, get in some good positions. I think that's on the Richarlison point, and that's actually a good point. Like, Delane, do you think Richarlison does provide more than just goals for this team, even though he's not scoring well at the moment? Do you think that Richarlison is, can help out the team in that way?
Yeah, I think so. Like, he's got the pace. He's got pace. It's just, he's got to let stay outside. But he can actually hold up the ball too. He's actually got a good hold up. He's got a lot better hold up than as we thought.
Better than Sonny, I would say.
Yeah,
100%.
And I think he can beat Sonny in the air as well, because obviously he's a jumper. So I mean, he plays in the middle he plays for Brazil. So I mean, look, he does bring a lot more, tactics to the game for us as well. But it's just he's just got to utilize that a little bit more. But look, it's time will tell. Like as we always say, look, how much time can we give him? But look, what he's going through now, I mean, you got to give him time to try and get to where he was playing at Everton. And look, if it's going to take a bit longer, look, we just have to be a bit patient. We can't just can't just go flat out. Oh no, sell him. Like, maybe in the next couple of games he could show up. Maybe we just don't know. So I mean, he's got to back the guy. As much as we say how long can we keep backing him? Look, we will back him till they're done.
Saying that too, but right, you can back him, but we also need goals too. Like Richie's done a few Romero things this season where he's got a hot head, bro, and he just slides in and gets a free kick.
That's why he's going to see a psychiatrist. That's why he's seeing a psychiatrist, because he's snapping.
Yeah,
but I will say on that, Bradley, you say that we need goals. We've got an average of nearly 3 goals a game.
Yeah, but it's I'm saying that in a sense, if we didn't have Sonny and Brendan Johnson's not up to the team yet, and we're relying on Richie, are we going to get goals from Richie? In the way he is now, if he has to play, do you reckon Richie's going to score goals?
Well, 4 of those 7 goals are scored from the front 3. Cooley's got 1. Sonny's got 3.
Got 3.
Oh, yeah.
Richie's got 1 too, but that was in the Carabao Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, so talk about the Premier League. Yeah. So, but I get your point. No, but what I want to ask you, Brad, because I wanted to ask you before you made sure Delane knew how you felt about it.
Whatever.
Do you think we'll see Ange cut him in January if he's not up to scratch? Because for me, Ange sees something in him. Ange sees something, and he's backed him in his press conferences. He's backed him when he's been questioned after the game. Do you think that, if we see Richarlison rumours get that he's on his way out, do you think that's because Ange just said, nah, he's just not the player for me? Or do you think just leave this going, I've got to sell him now because if I don't, I'm going to lose all the money?
Look, I think Richie and Ange do have a good relationship. I think Richie has spoken to Ange of how he feels mentally, and Ange has said, you know what, go see someone because I can see the talent in you. Ange, if he likes a player, he likes the player. He's already shown it now, and he's got the best out of the players that he likes. Apart, obviously, Richie going on what he's got going on. I don't think we'll get rid of him in January. I don't think we will. Because then we can throw Sonny back out on the left and we can get a main striker or just get someone. We can use Valiz. If we get that, if he gets Richie firing by December, then I can see Richie staying. I don't think Levy's want to get rid of him because Levy will ask for 90 mil for a player that's a dud to make money on it. We all know what Levy's going to be like.
That's a good point.
He's going to try and get 70, 80 mil for Richie, who's playing poor, and it's not going to happen. He's not going to go anywhere. He's going to run out his contract. So I think Ange is going to get the best out of him.
You think so?
I think that relationship they have, honestly, I think Ange has said to him, "Not mate, you're mentally not there. Let's get some help and let's get you back to how you want to play." And that's just my honest opinion there.
Yeah, well, Audio said he is English Jamaican, which is a very common combination.
So you'd be watching Top Boy for sure then.
But born and raised. That's very stereotypical of you.
No, but I love Top Boy, bro. It's bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we sound very Aussie, but we are born in North London too.
But let's not talking about Tottenham and stuff, bro. I got to be excited.
Yeah. And Dean says he takes good D.
Yes, he does.
You Aussies take good D all the time.
You do, my bro.
Especially in football. And Elias on Step Up Spurs. How you going, Elias? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, so talking on, we talk a bit about Richie. So we think Sonny's going to start up front today, don't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Has to. 100% has to.
Do you think he has to? Do you think he has to?
Yeah, because I don't think Richie's going to be in the team. I think Richie's going to be in the bench. I just don't think Ange's going to start him. Ange will start Sonny from the end of our last game.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brad. I think Solomon starts and Son starts for me. I think that's what's going to happen.
Like, there's no point changing the team if it worked last week, like the last Premier League game. There's no point changing it. If it work, and if it doesn't go right, then we change it. We've got players in the bench that can fill those positions if we needed to. In my opinion.
So do you think that like BJ will get pushed in? Do you think that Ange's going to do what Brad said? He's going to stick with the team that played very well against Burnley before the international break.
Well, why would you drop that team against Burnley? Like, look what they did. Like, Solomon was at the start. Like, Solomon was a bit off, but then he got 2 assists.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I say.
I think Kulu, he was a bit shaky the first half as well, but he came out in the second half and started, playing his game. Obviously, we know what Madison can do. Yeah, look, our front. You know what's weird, right? You talk about our front three, we can't, and we're talking about our front three now, where we used to talk about our defense, and right now, I have nothing to say about our defense. Our defense is rock solid at the moment.
You make a good point. There's usually we're like, oh, what are we gonna do? We got Dyer, we got Langley.
We're not even worried, boys. We're not
even talking. Well, I mean, I am a bit worried because
I'm
if one of them goes down, we have no one that's been to cover him. However, I'm excited actually to see like if this Phillips kid can actually.
Or Dorrington.
It'll be good to see him. Yeah, Dorrington. I think Dorrington's still too young, but isn't he?
Nah, Brad. My understanding is you're never young enough. If you're good enough, you're old enough. Yeah. That's my thing.
Yeah,
Look at Bukayo Saka, Wayne Rooney at 16 scoring a banger against Arsenal. You've got Bellingham, who's possibly the best midfielder in the world.
He's ripping up right now. He's on fire.
He is dynamite, that kid.
19, 20 years old. He scored 4 goals in 5 games for Real Madrid, for God's sake.
I know, in his first year, I know. All I see on my Facebook is Ange and Jude.
Yeah, well, yeah, like as I said, yeah. Look, I think the whole team will be the same as Burnley. I don't think he'll change it. He might make a couple more subs. He might bring on, BJ or.
I think we'll see Brendan Johnson this game. We go.
Yeah,
We have to. We have to, right?
have to.
There's no if buts or maybe.
It's overdue now. It's going to come in.
Yeah. But
We're away too, eh?
No, we're home. No, we're home. We're away to Arsenal next week. We won't get into. I'll get into those next 4 fixtures soon.
Yes.
Eliza said, "Good D." It's a terminology that we use here in Australia for rugby league. It's good defense, but considering Delane's nickname is D, sometimes when we play FIFA, we say good D or good dick, mate. Good D is good dick. So there you go, mate. What's that? I at the moment said Ange might cut him if he wants to return home to Brazil or something big like that, but he'll need a replacement lined up for him to do that, though. Ange feels like he's fighting to get his guys in. That last part, are you saying that he feels like Ange is fighting to get his players into the team, or he feels like Richarlison's fighting for the team? Let us know what that is, because I think you're right.
I think Ange might be fighting to get players in, like transfers.
Maybe. And sorry, Brad, this next comment from Audio says top boys trash, mate. It's just watched the wannabe rappers try to make a product that catches on in America. Sorry, Brad.
I'm heartbroken.
That's it, Brad. That Audio, Brad's you're not his friend now, Brad. You're not his friend. I mean, I don't watch Top Boy. So,
bro, I watched it like one day.
Give me Peaky Blinders any day of the week.
Oh, bro, 100%. That's a cracker too.
Audio, if I'm telling you now, Audio, if you rag out Peaky Blinders, mate, that's it. I can no longer bring up your comments.
Yeah.
And Dia said, Elias, have you ever had good tea? Keep it PG, guys. Keep it PG.
PG, please. Come on.
Look, I'm going to bring it up now. We have mentioned a little bit about the Arsenal game next week. But our next 4 fixtures for me are very, very important for our season. We play 2 big boys and we play 2 championship teams that came up. And for me, it needs to be at least, I'd say, 8 points for me. So these are our next 4 games. We obviously play today, Sheffield at home today in an hour and a half. Then the team will be announced in 23 minutes. So we'll be on here live giving you the team lineup. Then we play Arsenal away next week. Me and Brad are probably going to be doing a marathon of FIFA because we've got that Monday off.
We ain't got no work.
Dan will be with us. Then we play Liverpool at home the following weekend, and then we play Luton away the weekend after that. So we play 2 teams promoted and 2 teams that, we're going to be competing against the top 6.
The top 6, yeah. 2 top 6 teams.
For me, it has to be minimum 8 points for us to even look like we're going to challenge for top 6, top 4 this season. Now, I'm still sticking by my top 6. I think I tipped us to go 6th or 7th this year with the way before we started the season. I'm still sticking to that, even though we've had a good start to the season. I'm still sticking to that prediction. But for me, if we're looking at going to be competing for top 4, we have to get at least 8 points.
Yeah.
So to me, it's 2 wins and 2 draws. I feel like we can do that.
Yeah. I think.
How do you feel, D?
I think I'm in the same with you, Jay. I think if we really want to try and fight for that, maybe 4th, 5th, or 6th, 8 points we need out of this next couple of games. Arsenal probably at the moment going to be the tough one. I don't think Liverpool are really that dangerous. Like, their midfield's not that great. If you look at it, their midfield's not that great at all. Like McAllister, Saber. I can't even say that guy's name.
I just call him Slobber Sly because I can't say
whatever the hell his name is, man. Slobber Sly, Yeah, like, look, their midfield's not that great, And then Luton Town, the championship, they're probably that's a must-win game. But yeah, look, I feel like the Arsenal game is going to be the tough one, the challenge. But before this is a little rant, but that Arsenal game, I got off as well. So just I might have to jump in that content with you boys doing that FIFA. EA FC. So I have that Monday off as well.
I didn't realize.
All the boys
that Monday off as well, boys. So we're all off.
Mate, I can't wait 6 days. I'm going to say though, I think you're doubting Liverpool. I actually think it's the other way. I think Liverpool is going to be harder than Arsenal. But in saying that, we are going away.
Right now.
We are going away. So I do understand that we don't ever seem to win at the Emirates. However, I actually, before the international break, I looked at Arsenal, and I know I've just seen it, Liverpool down 1-0 to Wolves, but I thought Liverpool would be a harder test for us than Arsenal, because Arsenal don't look that good at the moment in terms of like that they aren't playing too well, but they're still getting results, right? And that's how we that's what Conte did with us when they got top 4. So that's all I'm going to say on that, D. Before
But
I go
nothing
to
bro. Nothing goes into
form
the game.
form
No
goes out the window.
form out the window. So it's
100%.
basically all on. So I mean,
Before I ask
yeah.
you, Brad, I want to get into a couple more comments because you've got a few more people. So, I at the moment said from his presser, Ange feels like he's fighting to get new transfers coming in. That's no doubt. It's Levy. He's dealing with Levy. Like
100%.
If Voldemort's dad, come on, like 100% no. Audio says, sorry guys, only watch football and TV. Her Peaky Blinders was good, but I ain't seen it. The last show I was into was Walking Dead.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
I don't watch
Walking
TV.
Dead was
I'll be honest.
good, but it got dry too.
Yeah, it got dry after
did.
Carl died.
As soon as I left the prison, bro, I stopped watching it.
Yeah. Dan has put up the Liver is 1-0 down to Wolves. I was going to watch it while we're doing the live, but I want to be attentive in these kind of things. And the man himself,
he's back.
The OG, the guy who loves to make us laugh. What's the point? Big up yourself, mate. Weirdos in the chat, let me find my trolls, bro. So he just comes with it. He just comes with it. He just ready. But Brad,
100%.
looking at those next 4 games, right? These guys said that he expects to win at Sheffield. He expects to win today. Expects to win at Luton, and he thinks we're going to get the same as me. Going to get draws at Liverpool and against Liverpool and Arsenal. How are you feeling for the next 4 games?
9 points.
9.
So you think 3 wins and a loss? Who are we losing to?
I hate to say it, but our form at Emirates is going to be the battle.
Yeah,
you reckon?
That's bro. Okay, we haven't done well at Emirates. What, the last 2 seasons or the last season we didn't?
We haven't won there. We haven't won there. I think we haven't won there like 13 games.
That's what I mean. We're going there. It's going to be tough. The toxic in the stands for all their fans. It's going to be tough. It's also too, can Vicario handle the pressure of the Arsenal supporters in his ear the whole time? That's, he's young, and like I just think that Arsenal game, that I could be wrong. We could get all 12. Optimistic here, but I just feel 8. I think Liverpool we've got. Sheffield we should have tonight, and Luton. It's a no-brainer to win that. But yeah, I think that Arsenal game, I'm not worried about Liverpool at all.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
I am. Liverpool are that team that I just think can just pull up and just batter us. Like,
not with Van de Ven at the back, mate.
Like, Dean's brought it up, right? Because I know Dean's a United supporter. For people that know in the chat, he's one of our boys. He will be also on that AAFC. So there's 4 of us that will be on there. But he's a United fan, and he just said you never win it against us at home, and you did this time. And
fair point.
It's a good point. And I'm going to be optimistic, right? Realistically, I think 8 is the go-to. I think we do a great game against Arsenal, 2-3 all, and we literally, go head-to-head, toe-to-toe, go, and then Liverpool I think is going to be a stinker, 1-1, something stupid. Someone like bloody Robertson's going to. I hate Robertson. I'm going to tell you that. I hate Robertson. I'm English and he's Scottish. I just hate him originally, but I just hate him. He's just a little cocky little prick. Do you reckon we can get 12?
Oh,
am I just trying to blow hot air up everyone's ass and try and?
I think so, bro. I think so. I can't see us getting 12. No.
But if we get 12.
We win in the league. If we get 12, we win the league, boys. I'm going to say.
Oh, wow. He's already putting it out there.
8 games, no losses. Come on. No. Let's be honest, right? I think 8's realistic. Wouldn't be surprised if we got 7. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose.
Surprised if we got 9.
Yeah. It's the thing is we don't know with this team yet. It's too early to tell. We're being very positive. In the past, we literally would lose every one of these games.
See, if this was last season, this was last season.
3 points.
4. I'm saying 4.
I'll say 2.
I reckon Luton would have beaten us.
No, I think we would have beaten Luton, drew with Sheffield, lost to Arsenal, lost to Liverpool. That's what I reckon we would have.
Oh, actually, fair point. Yeah.
I reckon as well. but it's such a different vibe now. Such a different vibe to what was last season to now.
Yeah.
So I think realistically 8 is probably the go-to, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do get 9.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
well,
surprised.
If anything's possible right now.
Yeah.
Just
that
be
is
optimistic.
true.
Be optimistic, boys. We got this. Don't worry. Have faith in the boys.
Yeah. Well, big up Stephen Cook. So enjoying the coverage, guys. Barnet boy in Foster. Foster's a beautiful place. Love going. Delay went on there on holiday there recently.
Yeah, man.
Didn't you? I think you did, didn't you? Didn't you have a baby? Didn't you have like a little mini honeymoon up there after you had your baby?
Baby moon.
Or was that before you had a baby moon? Didn't you?
No. So no, was it?
So that's where you proposed.
Yeah, well, I proposed too. So
there you go. So you should have hit Stephen while you were up there.
He missed my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
This is I couldn't miss on the
weekend. Big up Barnet. Barnet is in the outskirts of London. Our cousin, actually, mine and Brad's cousin, used to live in Barnet with his mum. But we're in Sydney, so big up yourself. What's the point? I'm gonna let him reiterate it. Smash the likes. He was force fed in infant school. Don't like currant buns. I don't understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say hot cross buns. He's trying to say. Smash the like if you like hot currant buns. They're hot cross buns here in Australia, and they're the ones with sultanas in raisins. If you're back in England, they're delicious. They bring them out in like October for Easter. It's insane. I'm surprised they're not in the shops yet. And I did. You don't have a home, you have a box. Dean is calling you out, brother. Dean is in lovely Queensland in the nice hot weather.
Sunshine Queensland.
Gold Coast, the Goldie, where the best beaches in Australia probably are.
Sunshine. There's more sunshine.
Oh yeah, sunshine. But I did want to say, guys, if you are in the chat, I want you to let us know how many points you think Tottenham are going to get in the next 4 games up on the screen. And Audio has already had his input without even me asking, and he reckons that we're going to pull off 10. He reckons the only game we're going to falter is Arsenal. That's a big call.
That is
a big call, and I'm loving the positivity.
But see, how good is it, boys? How good is it, boys? Where we can go, you know what? We can throw these high points coming from these next 4 games against two of the top 6 teams.
Yeah,
like it's confidence in the team.
If we get start of the season, this run would be 10 points. I remember this. I remember when we saw the fixtures at the start of the season. Every YouTuber, every Twitter fan on Twitter, every streamer was saying we've got a shit start to the season. We've got United, Arsenal, and Liverpool in the first 8 games. They're like, what the hell? It's rigged. Now we're sitting there going, we could possibly
get 10 out of this.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's a big call. But look, it's positive. It's positive, and it's good. We're not here. We're not sitting here going, "Oh, here we go. We're going to, probably go, probably get 4 points out of this, or just something like that.
2 or 1.
It's actually good. We're confident.
And you know what? It's an old Greek Australian man named Ange Postecoglou.
I love the man.
Yeah, so do I. So Dean said, what's the point? Keep talking dirty to me, daddy. Stephen Cook said, love heart, big up yourself. Currant buns give me hives, mate. Well, then you need to stop eating. They're hot cross buns, mate. Easier to say currant buns. Unless you're English, you don't really know what currant is. Do those points contain alcohol? I mean,
all day.
Hopefully. I mean, we're going to need it if we don't get those points. Trust me. And now, what I meant was in Australia, I don't know if it happens everywhere else around the world, but they'll sell Christmas stuff in July. Like they'll already have Christmas trees, and honestly, Costco here have Christmas trees in their for sale already. Like I said, come October, as soon as Halloween's done, and November the 1st, they'll have hot cross buns in the bloody window at the bakeries.
They're probably already having them now.
Ready for Easter next year. So that's what I meant by that. And what's the point? Says D, and I am your daddy.
We are get to the private chat room, I think.
Yeah, I know. I think you boys need to get your
own.
Getting
a bit spicy.
Definitely is. 10 minutes until the team is announced. So I do want to talk about the Sheffield game now. Have a bit of a banter about it. We are going to go to about 11:15.
Can I just mention one thing?
Yep.
Ange and Madison, player of the month and manager of the month.
Okay, yeah, Brad. You know what? Actually, I completely forgot about that. We did.
Whenever we had a
talk about
manager of the month in the last couple of seasons, I think Conte got it once last year at the start of the season.
Yeah. So
when have we had a player and a manager in the same team?
Well, the thing is, they
100%.
deserve it, right? Ange's start to the season, no one saw it, and even though he had a bit of a hiccup at Fulham, I mean that comment just stumped me there. I adopted Dean from Tesco's. Dean Tesco's is IGA, just so you know. Tesco's is IGA.
It's like a Franklin's.
Yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same thing. But you know, having a man of the match, a player of the month in there. I think I don't even know when our last one was. It might have been Harry Kane, or it might have been Cooley when he was firing. I can't remember
the last time we got.
I remember the last man of the match that we had.
No.
Oh, Audio just brought it up.
Nuno
got
this time last season.
And he got sacked. Yeah, because remember when we were talking about at the start, he won City. He won the 3 games 1-0 and got manager of the month, and then got sacked. So is that going to happen to Ange? Is he going to get sacked next month? We're going to lose all 4 games.
I hope not. Please don't.
Audio just jinxed it. Audio just jinxed it.
He's just jinxed it now, bro.
But they both deserve it. Madison's been playing out of his skin. Best player on the pitch by far. To me, he's been, I'd say, top 3 player in the league at the moment. I think he's been
best buy of the season.
Everyone's tipped him to be the best signing of the season too.
I agree.
Rice is actually behind him. I think he's just going to change our team. What Kane took away, Madison is providing an abundance of assists, and that's the thing with me. It's even with Kane scoring 30 goals a season. It wasn't the goals that were the problem for us. It was the creativity that struggled, like that stifled us. Kane scoring all those goals was Harry Kane's a freak, but if we had more creativity in the team, and without Kane, you can bring in the likes of Son, Richarlison, Madison's a goal scoring center attacking mid anyway. You could have brought in the wing backs in. You could have brought in. Now Johnson in. I feel like we're a better rounded team with more creativity. And I wish we kept Kane. I wish we bought Madison last season when all 3 of us here were
100%.
calling for it last season. Go get Madison. Go get him. He's the player that we need. Madison and Tony if Kane goes. Can you imagine if we sold Kane last season or the season that City wanted him and we went to Madison and Tony together? I mean, we would have lost Tony for 8 months due to his betting. But like, Madison has got to have been probably the best buy of the season, and I think he's going to be the best. He's going to score, I think, plus 10 goals and get nearly 20 assists this season. I feel like that's going to happen.
100%.
I think so as well.
100%.
He just brings a lot of quality into this team. Like we've been missing for a while from, losing Ericsson, who was our credit man, and now we got Madison who. We've been calling for a player like this for nearly 4 or 5 seasons. Since
calling for the
left.
player though.
Yeah.
Because Kane was dropping back deep. So we never had a striker. Kane was always in the middle. That's what we were calling for. We needed that person to replace Kane in the middle. That's what it was the whole time.
Yeah.
But Kane still scored 32 goals in the season, wasn't it? Yeah, last season.
He scored 32.
And he was still playing.
I'm sorry, but if Haaland wasn't in the bloody league, people would be talking about Harry Kane's the best striker in the world. I mean, they do still say that. But like Madison brings so much more to this team. It's insane the actual creativity he does bring though, and that's what I think we lacked, and that's when we lost Ericsson. That's why we struggled for so long. Ericsson wanted to go, Mourinho let him go. And Mourinho should have went, I need a replacement. But he didn't. He went, I can do with my boring-ass football and we'll rely on Kane, Son. And at that point, who did we have up front with them?
We had
Ali. I think he tried to convert Ali again into the star player he was under.
He did do well with Ali at one point. But then Ali fell off again. I think one game.
Ali had his own battles. That game against West Ham. I think it was West Ham where he got that flicking from the touchline. And we're like, we've seen this Ali come back, and then he just lost it from there.
Yeah. So, and look, we're giving props to Madison, but we've got to give the main props to Big Ange. Like
100%.
I'm like I said, and I reiterate it because I'm humble. I know when I was wrong. I think I am going to be wrong because of what I've seen so far. And I honestly didn't want Ange in. I said, get Poch or get Nagelsmann, or that's it. We're dead as a club. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. I'm doing a talk show and I don't even know what I'm talking about football because Ange. I'll be honest, I was naive on Ange. I didn't watch what he could do, and I honestly thought that we needed someone that had a bit more of a caliber to him. And as much as I do think Levy bargained for Ange, he bargained on the right guy. He's completely transformed the mindset of the players, the feel around the club, the feel around the fan base. And as much as this is a great appointment by Levy, we do have to also realize that just because Ange is doing a good job does not mean that Levy's, should take all the raps for it. He's still the one that's not getting him the players that he wants. He's still not the one that's, bargaining here and keeping Dyer and Lloris when they've both been told they're not going to be part of the squad. It's for me, Ange is dealt with everything perfectly so far, apart from the Fulham game. It's the only thing I can say so far that Ange
and he owned that too, though. He owned that by making 9 subs.
I don't think so.
Nah.
I disagree. I think he made.
But making 9 subs though was pretty stupid.
He made the excuse that he needed to see the other players, and for me, that was wrong. He stuffed up, but he didn't want to pin it on saying, "Oh, these players are shit." I disagree with there, but I think that was just a mistake. Ange didn't own it though. He didn't own it. He kind of went, "Oh,
I thought he said it was his mistake."
No, he said it. No, he said like, "Oh yeah, maybe but I had to see the players. How am I meant to see them? How they're meant to play? Come on, mate. It's a bit different."
Not in the Carabao Cup when you get knocked out.
And then he backs it up by saying, "Oh, sorry guys, just because we didn't win a trophy, we're not going to win a trophy for the sake of it. We want to build a squad." And now I liked hearing that, but he also needs to realize that this fan base has spent it's nearly been 16 years, because it will be, by the time the next trophy is available for us, will be 2024 FA Cup. It'll be 16 years since we last won a trophy at this club. 100%. And we as a fan base deserve, first English club to win in Europe, first club to win a double. Like, we have history. We need to be standing up to that history. But before I get your opinions on Ange, because I know you guys have got strong opinions, Ian MacArthur, new to the podcast. Keep it up, guys. Watching from Hillside, Melbourne. Big up, guys, down in Melbourne.
Big ups.
City.
Big ups, brother.
Actually, Melbourne's one of my favorite cities in Australia. I think it's a very modernized. I look at it like a bit like a mini London sometimes. But the weather's like crazy.
Melbourne confuses me. Turn left from the right lane.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing.
Oh, that drives me mad.
We're based in Sydney, mate. I know there's a few guys from London. There's a guy from Foster. So big up yourself. Welcome to the show. Make sure you are subscribing to Tommy's channel, guys. We are guests on Tommy's channel. We have our own channel, Total Hotspurs. If you just do @Total Hotspurs in YouTube, you will find us over there. Aussie-based Tottenham channel, and we will be going live for our live watch along after this show, guys, at 12:15 Australian Standard Time, or 2:45 in the UK. So make sure, if you are enjoying us now and you want to listen to us a bit more, head on over there after this, after we finish this show, and we'll be on there. What's the point, as asked, guys? If you're on the last year of your contract, Daniel Levy is signing you. I don't care if you play for Falkirk, but Daniel is signing you. I get what he's trying to say. So he's saying he'll sign you even if you're a semi-pro from the pub. He's going to sign you. And we all know that Daniel loves a bargain.
He does.
Yeah.
Levy will try to sign Sancho and Anthony from. I don't want either of them. I think Sancho.
Terrible. Both of them terrible.
Well, at the moment, Sancho's kind of just falling off the bandwagon, and Anthony just, I don't know.
I can't stand him.
As Dean said, prison FC. But Brad Delane. What's your thoughts on Ange? Brad, I'll let you go. How has Ange done for you so far?
Can't fault the guy for what he has done with the minimal preseason games and what he's brought to the team. And all up, in my opinion, it's been a good start to it's a been good reign under Ange at the moment. He's clinical, what he wants to do to the boys. We're not parking the bus. We score a goal. We're going back for more. He's getting the best out of these young players, the defenders. He's brought the best out of Basuma. Basuma's back to Brighton ways again. Maddison is just a class player. Maddison just turns it on. And just the Ange's relationship with the boys, I feel he's like a father figure to some of the young boys which is they probably didn't have with past managers and stuff. And I just feel, we're going to go somewhere with Ange, but like Ange said, it's not going to be straight away. It's going to be a long process. Not like a manager coming in, we're going to win a trophy straight away. Ange has already said it's going to be a long process to get where we need to be. But we need to see some trophies real soon as a supporter of Tottenham. It's been a long time for us to get some silverware.
Are you sharing no sentiment?
Yeah, I think I agree with Brad. I think, some of the players look at Ange as a more, as Brad said, a father figure, but also like, a person you can go talk to, and he'll tell you the honest truth, or he'll give you his best opinion, in his Aussie accent. But I think for what Ange has done so far in this for this team and for us so far, look, I think he's done. I'm same with you, Jason. I think I had a little bit of doubt on him. I think I was going from the Scottish League, which is not the best league, coming to the big boy league, the Premier League. We had doubts that can he do the job? He won the treble with Celtic, but that's easy. That's easy to win over.
Oh no! I disagree.
Okay.
Brendan Rodgers got knocked out of the cup already for Celtic. They've already been knocked out. It's not.
Yeah,
it's easy to say it when you're Celtic and go, it's easy. It's Celtic. Brendan Rodgers just got knocked out with the same squad that Ange won the treble with last season. So I'm going to call it out. I think people underestimate how difficult it can be to win a cup run in Scotland just because Celtic are the best team and Ange was there.
Yeah.
I don't think for me. Sorry to interrupt, but I just think that's false. I think it's not easy to win the treble anywhere.
Oh no, but I understand that. Like, it is not easy to win the treble. Like Man City, they can do it. But all I'm saying is like, it's just I had a lot of doubts that he was going to actually come in and do a great job. But I think maybe after the game against Brentford, I did see a lot of differences in the team. And then when it come to the Man United game, I actually started seeing a lot more. And I was just like, wow, I was really impressed. The players themselves, Romero, he's not as rash as he used to be. Maybe that vice captaincy, actually, him having that vice captain actually really helped him mentally and physically going, okay, well, now I can't do this no more. I'm a leader. I got to lead from the back. So I got to do it properly. So, look, I'm really happy with what he's done. I'm really happy for what he's accomplished so far. But as Brad said, it's a long process, but we do need trophies. But at the same time,
Audio covered it too, though.
Audio has said, considering that a 25-man squad with 5 goalkeepers, he's doing a grand job. And
100%.
Look, I think 100%. This is what's really helped the fan base get behind Ange is he's sticking to his word about the style of football he's playing. He's not going out there and saying we're going to win the league. I honestly think, Ange is the man. And for me, it's his man management. That's what's making it work. Players love him. Players love how honest he is, but he's not brutal. He's very honest, but he's very, he does it in a way where you feel like he's trying to help you. He's not there to bring you down. He's not going, you're shit, mate. That's it. You're out. He's like, you know what, mate? At the moment, you're just not at the level I need you to be at. And this is the level I want you to get there. And I know you can get there, but I need you to work your ass off to get there. And once you get there, I can guarantee you'll give you as much game time as I can. That's how I feel like he would talk to a player. He wouldn't be like, nah, mate, you're gone. But there is players like Dyer where we'll probably go, mate, I should be in the starting 11. He's going, mate, you're not good enough. See ya. I'm not putting you. This guy over here is working his ass off. You feel like you need it. Nah, mate. See you later. You're not part of my plans.
Yeah. I think. Sorry, but before get on to the next thing, but I think, and also just everyone around him, like the staff. I think us all fans just love him of just the personality he's got. He just shows a lot of character, and that's all we all love. He actually goes around and applauds the fans. Brings them up. You see the players themselves; they're going around. Even for the Brentford games, a whole team went over to our corner, clapped the fans before the game kicked off, and I do see a change, and this is good. I like this change,
and I think by having his vice captains and his captains, in Son, Madison, and Romero. He's really helped with the player base. I think they're the 3 players that were liked as well. But guys, we are a bit late. It's nearly 5 minutes since the team has been announced, so I will bring it up for you now. We have Vicario in goal with Pedro Porro, Romero, Van Ven, and Nadoji, Sabasuma, Madison, Kulusevski, Son, and Solomon. So same team as Burnley.
Yeah.
Completely understand. Johnson is on the bench. Parrish is on the bench. Richarlison is on the bench. We've skipped Højbjerg, Royal, Dyer, Davies, and Forster. So I think Ange has been forced to keep Dyer around the squad. I don't think Dyer's going to go he might go for free in January. He might just sign a pre-contract. I'm hoping they just tell him, see you later, mate, once we get a couple of centre-backs in.
100%.
But Brad, how are you feeling on that squad?
I'm happy with it. Same team, like I said, same team against Burnley. No changes, no drastic things have happened to it. I'd like to see Johnson come on for some minutes around maybe 65th, 70th minute. Perisic could come on too for Solomon to feed Son. And maybe, Richie will be coming on for Son as well.
I think you just rotate the front 3. Yeah. Any of the front 3.
I'd like to see, if we've got a lead 2, I'd like to see Højbjerg come in because we know we can defend as well.
Yeah.
And stuff. So that will be a good play if we're up by 3. Højbjerg, bring Sarr off or Basuma off or Madison off to give him a rest as well for the Arsenal game, which will be a key factor in this.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think, look, this lineup is what we expect, you know. I think going from the Burnley game, what they did there, and now, I wouldn't make no changes. But I would like to see, as Brad said, Johnson coming on, for Kulusevski, if Kulusevski's not providing enough, the likes of, Højbjerg on for Basuma, get Basuma a rest. Just Basuma, Madison, and Sonny are the most important players because we need them for Arsenal
and
Liverpool as well. Mostly Arsenal because it's a North London derby. But I think if any one of those players get injured, look, it could be deadly. But then also you got to look at the defense as well. Like we are thin on with our centre backs. I mean, do we risk Dyer coming into this game? Taking off Romero? Or
no,
if we're 3-0 up, if we're 3-0 up, I would take Romero and Van de Ven off straight away. They're the most important for me, that pairing. I'd bring on Dyer and Davies if we're 3-4-0 up, because if they score a couple of goals, it's okay. I would then, as Brad said, bring Højbjerg and then maybe rotate, Son and maybe Kulu or Solomon, depending on who's having a poorer game. That's it.
100%.
The midfield threat, but then for me, Basuma has to get rested. He needs to be peak. For me, he's the man in midfield. As much as Madison's getting the plaudits, for me, Basuma's the man. For me, he's the reason why I got his name on the back of my shirt. DH Gate, guys, make sure you go there. Don't support Levy. Basuma's the man for me. I think if anyone needs a rest for Arsenal, it's him, because he bossed Arsenal at Brighton a couple of seasons ago.
He did. I think that's why you're looking to buy him.
That's how they'll be. Yeah.
But guys, if you are in the chat and you have seen the squad, let us know how you feel about it. If there's any changes that you would make. But we're going to go for score predictions. I'm going to go 3-0. I think we're going to comfortably beat Sheffield. I think it's going to be a nice, easy ease into the Arsenal game. I want to see early goals. I want to see early pressure. I want to see us be up 2-0 at halftime, get a third, then rotate the boys out for the week. D, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I think I might go maybe let's go a 4-1. I'll go a 4-1.
Ooh, they might get an early goal.
Yeah, I might go a 4-1.
What, like Burnley?
Yeah.
It could happen. It could happen. So yeah, I might go a 4-1 just to I think comfortably we'll get the win. But we just can make sure we're going to go into the North London derby with a lot of confidence.
Yeah. I'm going 5-0.
5-0.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. After look, probably over exaggerating, but you know what? I'm gonna risk it. Let's go 5-0. Okay,
I mean,
it's doable. If they don't score, we put 5 against Burnley.
Brad, did you remember that game we played against FIFA when you said if we put on 6, you're going to do a nudie run?
Oh,
So and we did. So if Tottenham win 5-0, Brad, you do a nudie run, yeah?
yeah, only for you boys, but so they get embarrassed. Hey, I still did a nudie run from the wedding too when I hit that sign at Aquagolf.
Oh yeah, good time.
Nah, 5-0.
Stevens brought up. He says 1-3, but I think he means 3-1. Because he corrected himself 3-1.
Yeah.
Look, realistically, it's probably going to. I don't think we can say we're going to get a clean sheet every game. I'm not that hyped about our defense just yet. Played very well so far. Vicario has been great in a couple of games so far, especially like last week. Even though he conceded 2 against Burnley, like he saved some good shots. United saved some good shots. Bournemouth saved some good shots. So, I do think we might leak a goal this game because it is Sheffield. But I think we're all tipping a win. I don't think we can all sit there and say that we aren't going to win this game. Sheffield haven't been playing too well. I come from the Championship. I just don't think they've got the squad to compete. But Ian has come. Yeah, I don't think so. Ian has said, guys, typical Ange, staying with what works. However, don't be surprised if no goals by halftime. Watch out for Brennan Fakulu. If they score first, watch out for major changes. And that's a good call. And I was going to say that for me, I actually wouldn't pull Solomon off.
No.
If Kulu's been the weaker of the front three, even with Richarlison playing so bad, he was a poorer player last week. Even though he got a goal the week before, I still felt like he did nothing. Hasn't played too well this season. Solomon's looked pretty bright in his appearances so far. Got 2 assists last week. I'm all for Kulu being dropped. I was 100%. Up for Kulu being dropped at the start of the season when I said off stuff at Solomon, Porro, and Son as the front three, and then have Royal behind Porro. But I big up Porro, by the way. He's played really well. Sometimes he's been caught out, especially against United. We're going to had so much space, but he hasn't done too bad in that right back role. He's really stepped up. But and that those major changes we saw it. The other week with Richarlison getting dropped. Ange is not afraid to make the big changes. And when Richarlison was playing poor against Bournemouth, he put Richarlison off, put Perisic on, put Sonny in the middle. So definitely, Ian, I definitely think that Ange will stick with what works, as we can see. But you're right. I do, the goals at halftime is something we have started fairly slow in majority of the games, even in preseason. So I wouldn't be surprised if we are, 0-0 at halftime, 1-0. But that's good. So, guys, we are going to wrap it up soon. A pleasure having you guys on for the show. D, even though lateness is greatness, you're always here around. Make sure you are liking the video, guys, and subscribing to the Hotspur Hood. Toby does some great stuff on this channel. It gives us the platform to put ourselves out there too. And head on over to @TotalHotspurs on YouTube to like and subscribe with us over there if you haven't already. Big ups to everyone that joined today. Has a couple of new guys in today, some Aussies in, which is great. Want to see more Aussies in there.
More Aussies, please.
Want to put the call out if you have any Aussie friends, guys, that support other teams that are in the Premier League. Let us know if they're keen to jump on one of these shows for a pre-match kind of preview kind of thing, or a post-match depending on when we play. We want to try and get some Aussie guys out there and get them on there, show the community around the world that the Aussies know what they're talking about as well. And when it comes 100%. To football. But big ups to Brad and Delane for jumping on.
Cheers, bro.
Once again, not easy on a Saturday night when you got kids. Luckily for me, I don't have that just yet. On the way though, January is going to be hard for me. Big up to everyone in the chat. What's the point, Stephen? Audio is always here. D and Ian. That's bit of a tongue twister. I at the moment was here earlier. Big up to all of you guys that have joined us today. Loving the fact that you guys are free to talk in the chat too, and a bit of banter. Always love a bit of banter here.
100%.
But big up yourself, guys. Game will be starting in 45 minutes, but our live watch along will start in half an hour over on our channel at Total Hotspurs. So make sure you head over there if you want to join us for the game. Big ups to yourself, guys. Stay safe, take it easy, and as we always say here at Total Hotspurs, guys, stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, guys.
Stay Spursy, guys.